opportunities based off of your interview. Perhaps you went to an interview recently and you felt like you did an amazing job. Everyone was happy, but then you hear crickets and you're wondering what's going on. Well, this is your lucky day. I'm going to share with you a couple of statements, thoughts, mindsets that you definitely do not want to say in your interview. And I'm going to share with what you need to say instead. So you want to watch this video in its entirety because a lot of times, many people, when they are interviewing for job positions, they become very frustrated in the process when they keep interviewing and interviewing and interviewing and interviewing and nothing happens. And so I want to share with you over my 20 years of experience as a C-suite executive, as a director and a manager. I've done hundreds of interviews. I've done looked at hundreds of resumes. And I want to share with you what are some of those words, those statements that people make oftentimes in their interview that prevent them from being able to move forward, and share with you something that you can say instead. So you want to learn as much as you can because this will actually help you not only in your interviews, but it will actually help you in your professional life as well as you are navigating through this aspect of your career. Now, I do want to let you know that I do have the opportunity to help you with your interviews. If you have interviews coming up and you want to get some expert level guidance and support so that you can completely ace your next interview, then reach out to me. Contact me at info@exciteexcellence.org. I will practice interview with you. I give you a great practice session where by the time we finish interviewing, you are going to definitely feel more confident in terms of how you respond, what you say that will help you be able to secure that next role to get you in the position you want to be in. So this is something I'm offering this week. You're welcome to reach out to me on any platform. I'll help you out with this process. Now, I do want to also mention that this topic is something people talk about all the time, but they don't necessarily tell you what you should not say. And one of the things that oftentimes comes up in the interview is that we have a lot of things in our mind. We will prepare ourselves and put ourselves as the best person forward to respond, to say what we need to say. We rehearse responses. We think of everything that we have done and we talk about it. But all of this work that we do for the interview sometimes doesn't matter because our mindset is thinking differently and we're not projecting that very, very confident version of ourselves. So I want to share what happens a lot of times in interviews. Oftentimes in an interview setting, people will come in and they're confident and then they end up saying, okay, well, I'm able to do this. I might be able to do this. I have some experience in this. All of those words that are not affirming words are the things you don't want to say. So before I go into it even further, I want to say hello to everyone that's joining today. Hello, Miriam. Welcome. Glad you are here today. If you have any questions as it relates to interviewing, perhaps you had an interview question that you were stumped on, you didn't know how to respond, or if you just want to get some guidance and some support as a woman in leadership, this is the best place to be. Feel free to subscribe to the channel if you want to learn more fantastic information as to how to really develop your confidence, your executive presence, those higher level communication skills so that you can land your next job, your next promotion, and make that big impact on the world. So I was starting with the very first, as I mentioned, thing that people say in their interviews is they'll say these words that are very vague, that are not confidence building words. Oftentimes people say, well, I never thought about that. Or they may say, I don't know. They may say, I'm not sure. Or they may say, I have to think about that. These type of words are the default that people have in their mind when it comes to interviewing because in their mind, they don't know what else to say. And they want to be their very honest selves, which you should be honest in your interview. But there's some confidence killing words that you just don't need to say in your interview. And sometimes we say it unknowingly that prevent you from moving forward in your career. So for those of you who are joining, welcome. Glad you're here today. Ask me any questions you have about interviews. I will share with you over 20 years worth of experience in about 10 minutes. So if you want to fast track your interview success and do well, ask me questions while I'm here so I can help you. And if you like the information so far, feel free to subscribe to the channel. I would be happy to have you as a part of our wonderful group of women in leadership, and you happen to not be in that particular title, you still have a very, very important goal you're trying to reach as a leader, and I appreciate you for being here. All right, so I want to say hello to Yolanda. Hello, hello. Welcome, welcome. Glad you're here today. Any questions about interviewing, let me know. I'm here to support you on your journey and answer any questions you have. If you need some direct support in terms of helping you to interview better, contact me at info@exciteexcellence.org. I will reach out to you and we'll set up some practice interview sessions, or you can reach out to me on LinkedIn at Dr. Jacinta Lamontai, or on Instagram at @XLikeExcellence. Okay, now we have our hellos out the way. For those of you who are just joining, we're just talking about words, what I want you to not say in your interview, and say these words instead. So instead of saying, I don't know, and we've talked about this before. So instead of saying, I don't know to a response that an interviewer gives you, say what you do know. So let me give you an example. You can say, I am confident in this particular aspect of the topic. Or you could say, I have some knowledge in whatever it is that they're asking about, but I have learned how the part that you actually know about relates to this particular topic. So that shows that you're not saying flat out, I don't know, because you never want to say, I don't know in an interview. Please don't do that. That is the fastest way for you to lose your confidence and the fastest way for somebody else to take your position that you're applying for. So don't say, I don't know. Say what you do know. So focus on that. The next time that comes up, say what you do know. And that is something that will actually help you as well. Now, the next thing I want to mention to you is another word that people say commonly in interviews. They may say, I've never thought about it this way. And that in itself is not necessarily a bad statement, but it is a statement that does not embody confidence, because you're putting doubt and you're not quite sure of what it is that you want to say. What you can say instead of, I've never thought about it this way, you could say, that's a very interesting perspective that you have. I would like to share my insights on this as well. Do you see how I just turned that around? Because you're saying basically that you understand what's being said, but you've never really thought about it, but you're able to at least say it's interesting. I want you to say those more affirming type of words that are very positive, forward thinking, that show you as the expert that you are. Now, there was a question about, can I greet the interviewer with, hello, Miss Lady? No, that's not how you could greet people in an interview. If you have done that before, it's okay. But moving forward, that's not the way you want to conduct yourself professionally. If you really are serious about going to that next level in your career, and you truly want to be at that executive level or even that next level in leadership, there's a different type of way that you have to communicate with other people. And you want to err on the side of being more formal than informal. You can never go wrong with being formal. So if you say good afternoon, good morning, greetings, I'm really glad to be here today, that is okay. Always err on the side of being more formal in your communication than being more lax. I have worked with people in the past, and clients, and even myself, just experience working with many, many individuals and managing a lot of people, is that when we get into an interview setting, and this is a mistake, and this is completely a bit off topic, but it's very important for you all to know. But when you get in an interview setting, and you start having a dialogue with the person and they're feeling comfortable with you, you're starting to feel comfortable with them initially, or maybe they may say something that makes you laugh and you feel like, okay, this interview is not going to be that bad. We're going to have a good time. Sometimes what people will do is that they will start going into the lax mode. And so they'll become a little bit too relaxed in their communication. So they may laugh really loud, or they may say, oh no, or start using slang and start speaking in ways that may not necessarily present that very best version of themselves. And that in itself can cause you problems. You may think that the interview is going well. You're laughing, you're having a good time with your interview, and that all is fine. But that one time that you decided to take the interview, which is a formal process, to that lax level or almost friend-like level with someone that you don't know, this is a reason why sometimes you will be bypassed for opportunities. When hiring managers are trying to interview for people, they want to have people that are very professional, that are really at the highest level or aspiring to be at that higher level, and that are presenting themselves as such. Even if you're not at that level just yet, it's all about how you are presenting yourself to other people. If you're presenting yourself as that very confident, best version of yourself, even if you're not there yet, it's okay. You are still presenting yourself that way. So that's a fantastic question. I appreciate that. That's a very good question to ask, because sometimes we just don't know how to greet people. And this is the reason why I'm here on YouTube, is because I know that there's a lot of people out there professionally that want to grow in their careers. They want to be able to go to that next level, but they just don't know what to do. They don't know what to do. They don't know what to say. They don't know how to act. They don't know how to conduct themselves in meetings. And that's why I'm here. I'm here to really guide you and share with you that next level, the expert C-suite level experiences that I have had, and to help you on your journey. So I've been in the C-suite level. I've given congressional testimony in Florida State. I've spent some time in DC with congressional leaders. So I've been at that higher level in those high stakes meetings, and I understand how you need to present yourself to really showcase yourself as that executive and that leader that you want to be known as. So fantastic question. Really appreciate that. Very, very good question, because it's a good insight for people to really think about in terms of interviewing, in terms of how you present yourself. Because those lax moments in your interview, even though you think that the interview's going well and you're laughing, you're having a good time, those will be the moments where your interviewer is going to say, okay, no, I want somebody that's a bit more polished. I just had a good conversation with someone. And you don't want to be that good conversation. You want to be that candidate that stands out, that they want to absolutely hire. Now, we talked about a couple things so far. So we've talked about what to say when your answer is, I don't know. We've talked about what to say when someone tells you something and you hadn't thought about it in that way before. I want to give you something else to talk about also. Another very common statement that comes up in interviews that I've done and I've seen people do. And that is the most famous response is, let me think about that. So, let me think about that is a translation to a manager. I don't know. I have no idea. I don't want you to say, let me think about that. If it is something that you do not know what to say, you're not sure how to answer it, then you have two options. Okay, the first option is buy yourself time. You need to buy yourself time to think. That's option one. And option two is to answer the question in a better way. So for option one, if you've watched any of my live videos, you should go back and watch. I don't remember which one, but I've been on the lives for a lot here recently, a long time. And I want to let you know there's a lot of information about resumes, interviews. Go check out my lives, go spend some time with me and learn as much as you can. But the best way, I'll give you one tip to buy yourself time, is to ask them to repeat the question. So can you say, please, can you repeat the question? And that will get the person to go ahead and rephrase the question, and that will buy you time to think about what it is that you want to say to this question, because you're not quite sure. Now, I do want to say the second option is to actually answer the actual question. So that would be specifically, instead of saying, I have to think about it, you can say, this is such an important topic that I have some experience on. Let me share with you what I've learned. And just talk about what I mentioned at the very beginning. Talk about what you do know. What do you know? You want to share that information to the hiring manager so that they are feeling more confident about you as a person. So let me see if there's any questions. You all have any questions about interviewing, what to put on your resume, what you should say, leadership, confidence, executive presence. I'm here to support you. Let me know what questions you have. Let me see who else is joining. So we have Tara. Hello, Tara. Welcome. See, Senorita. Yes. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. All right. So Tara says, like you live all the time. Yes, I am live all the time. Monday through Friday, I'm live around the 7 o'clock time period, Eastern Standard Time. So absolutely, yes. So Tara said, I'll be myself in the interview, not going to be somebody else. So of course, you want to definitely present your authentic self in the interview, However, you want to present your authentic self, the very polished, authentic self of yourself, if that makes sense. So you want to be yourself. You do not need to be anyone else in the interview but you, Tara. So just be you in an interview. But if you're trying to go for those higher level roles or those leadership roles and really stand out as a woman in leadership, you definitely want to present yourself as very polished, that person that is ready to go to that next level, which is one of the reasons why this is a fantastic time for you to subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed, because there's a lot of information that we talk about here that focuses specifically on how to position yourself in that next level of leadership. So for those of you who are joining or just now joining, welcome, welcome. Glad that you all are here today. We have talked about what you should not say in your interviews and what you should say instead. We don't want you to make these mistakes in your interviews because they will cost you your interview. We've talked about different scenarios, and you want to go back and check the live to get more details, but we've talked about what to say when you don't know the answer, what to say when you're not sure about the question in terms of the perspective, you don't know what to say. And we've also talked about when you're not quite sure of what the response is and you say, I have to think about it. You don't want to say in an interview setting, okay? These are the statements. These are the statements I do not want you to say in an interview, ever. Never, 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 ever say these statements. I don't know. I'm not sure. Let me think about it. That's a different way to think about it. And I'm not confident in that, or I haven't done that. All of those negative statements, they need to go away. Don't say those. Be very affirmative and very confident in yourself in the interview. Think of the more positive things that you need to say. So really focus in on that when you are going through this process. Check out the replay. I go through different scenarios and what you should say instead of saying those words that will help you on your journey. Now, if you have any questions as it relates to interviewing, especially if you're watching the replay or even now live, let me know. Do you have the opportunity to learn 20 years worth of interviewing experience from a C-suite executive and a director and a manager in a short amount of time? So if you have questions, just feel free to let me know. I'm here to really support you all on your journey. And if you want some additional support, maybe you have a big interview coming up, or you're just trying to get a job and you're trying to secure employment, and you feel like you've been doing your interviews pretty well, but you just have not been able to get an employment opportunity yet, I guarantee you I will figure out what it is that you are doing that may be taken away from you securing those employment opportunities within one session of us working together. So if you're really serious about trying to get your next employment opportunity, then contact me at info@exciteexcellence.org and I will be able to help you. We'll set up some time to have a conversation and talk about it. You're always welcome to reach out to me on LinkedIn. You can also reach out to me on Instagram as well. Dr. Jacinta Lamantai at LinkedIn and at Excite Excellence, my business, on Instagram. So I'm here to really support you on your journey, and I want you all to get employment. I want you all to get jobs. I know many of you are in this transition phase of your life. I've been there, and I know how it is when you are needing to be in a situation where you want to work for a company for the time being, and you are trying to scale your business on the side, but you need an employment opportunity. I hear you and I see you, and I see so many of you have these very big visions for yourself, but you have to have that funding, that capital, something to help bring that revenue in from a job to help you with your business. So I know, and I completely understand how critically important this is, and I never take something like this lightly, because we need more people in the world just like you. We need more people in the world that want to do big things, and I don't want an interview for a job that could position you in a place where you go to that next level, and that may be the role that really helps you to skyrocket your success, start your own business, do your own type of project that you're working on to hold you up. I don't want the interview to do that. The interview is something that you and I, when we work together, you will absolutely ace that interview and do very well in it, which will only help you in other aspects of your life to be more concise in how you speak. So if you have any questions, let me know. I appreciate you all for being here today. And just once again, I just appreciate you all for subscribing to my channel. You all mean a lot to me. And my channel has recently reached 50,000 views. Can you believe that? I'm really, really excited about that, and just grateful, so incredibly grateful for y'all to be here and just spend some time with me. I'm here to really support you on your journey, and if there's something you need help with professionally, I'm here. I'm here to help you and support you on your journey, and I look forward to seeing you all in the next video. Don't forget, check out my lives. There's a lot of lives that can help you if you're trying to get to that next role in your positions. You're struggling with your resume, let me know. I'll help you out in the journey, but take a look at the lives. You'll learn a lot of information there. And I'll talk to you all soon. Bye for now.